I was adopted from Peru as a child, maybe when I was 1.5 or so, give or take. And my whole life, I didn't think much of that. I kind of just lived my life thinking my life was my life, you know. When I was 30, I decided to really try to look for my family. I tried other times and it didn't work, but something in me just told me I wanted to give it just one more shot. Just one more really hard try before admitting defeat to this thing that has been like a mystery for my whole entire life. Without looking at the calendar or anything, I realized that today is almost 2 years exactly to the day that I first found out who my family was. I remember that day so clearly. I remember it was a Friday. I was at work. I just went downstairs to grab something. And right before I stepped in to see my last client, I decided to just check my phone, you know. I figured, why not? And I had a message from the detective I hired to look into my family and find things. At this point, I was messaging him every couple of weeks saying, hey, any updates? And every week it would just be like, hey, sorry, no, nothing yet. I'm going to try this. I'm going to look into this. And it went on that way for like 2 or 3 months. And I just had like a feeling to check my phone and to check WhatsApp, which I don't really use that much. I use it more now, but back then I used it only to communicate with like him. I had my notifications even turned off because I didn't like using WhatsApp. I opened up my WhatsApp and he said, hi John, this is your birth certificate. You were born on this day, you were born at this place. These are the names of your parents over here. He had them like circled. And then he sent me some photos and he said, this is your birth mom, her name was this. She never stopped looking for you. And this is your sister, her name's this. She lives here still. I have her number if you want to contact her. And it was just so hard because I had to just get back to work, and looking back, and I probably should have even canceled that session, canceled that client. But I also knew I shouldn't because I would have had to then face all those things right then and there if I did. And I think taking the time to not face them was actually better than facing them, at least my feelings in the moment. Since then, I met my family for the first time about a month after that, maybe a little bit less. I saw my family multiple times. I went to visit them. We had many special occasions. I've gone to a few birthday parties. I celebrated New Year's with them. I got to visit my mom's grave with them. I got to meet my nieces and nephews. I've gone to go to some of the parties. I've gotten to bring them gifts from the US, things that they needed. And I'm just reflecting on it all now. So if you're listening, thanks for listening. But it's just crazy how much can change in 2 years. And like that moment, I thought like my whole world changed, and I didn't know that it would change this much. So that's just where I'm at right now, thinking about all the things that happened to me since then. And this is just only a small part of my story, but maybe one of the biggest parts, the day I got that message. And I realized that day is coming up 2 days from now, March 15th. And it's the day that I was at the beginning of finding out more about who I am. I don't know all the details of my story, I don't know all the missing pieces, but in 2 years, I've gotten answers to things that I never even knew I had questions for. I do want to do more videos about my story and also about my family, and maybe even be able to offer more to people and things in life in Peru, which is where I'm from. So here's to 2 years since I learned who my family was.